Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Ibn Khaldun International Schools. Today we will continue chapter 11 with lesson 8, area of combined rectangles. Our objective, apply the distributive property to area models and to find the area of combined rectangle. To find the area, we need to find the length, width, then we will use multiplication operation. Then area equals to length times width. The square unit is the unit to measure the area. Square unit. Now open your book, page number 669. The area of combined rectangles. The first example, Anna's rug has side lengths of 4 feet and 9 feet. What is the area of Anna's rug? The first step, we will use square tiles to model 4 times 9. Then we will draw the rectangle on the grid paper to show the model. Then we will draw a vertical line to break apart the model to make two smaller rectangles. The side length 9 is broken into 5 and 4. Then we will find the area of each of the two smaller rectangles. Rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. For rectangle number 1, we have here the length is 4 and the width is 5. So the area equals to 20. What about rectangle number 2? Rectangle number 2, the length is 4, since we have here 4 square units, and the width also 4. So 4 times 4 equals 216. Now to find the area of big rectangle, we need to add the areas of two smaller rectangles. 20 plus 16 equals to 36. Now check your answer by counting the number of square feet. If you will count the square feet in this shape, we will get 36 square feet. So the area of Anna's rug is 36 square feet. And now on page number 670, using the distributive property, you found that you could break apart a rectangle into smaller rectangles and add the area of each smaller rectangle to find the total area. So this property we call it distributive property. To divide the figure into two smaller rectangles, then to add the areas of two smaller rectangles to find the area of the figure as a whole. Look at the figure on the left side. We can divide this figure into two different ways. The first way to use a horizontal line and the other way to use a vertical line. Let's start with the first way. To divide this figure into two different rectangles, the rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. The first way, we will use a multiplication equation for each rectangle. The first one is 3 times 7. 3 is the length and 7 is the width to find the area of rectangle number 1, and it's equal to 21. What about rectangle number 2? The length is 3 and the width is also 3, so 3 times 3 equals 9. And now to find the total area, we need to add 21 plus 9. We will add the two areas together to get 30. Now, what about the another way to use a vertical line? Okay, so rectangle number 1 will have what the length? It will be 6, since we have here 6 square feet here. And The width is 3, so 6 times 3 equals 18. What about rectangle number 2? The length is 3 and the width is 4. So 3 times 4 equals 12. And now we will add the products to find the total area. 18 plus 12 equals 30. So the area is 30 square units. And now on page number 670, we have part, share, and show. Look at this figure. We can divide it into two different ways, also the horizontal and the vertical line, but now we will use the vertical line. Now we have rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. For rectangle number 1, what's the length do we have here? 2, and the width is 4. So 2 times 4 equals 8. So the area of rectangle number 1 equals 8. What about rectangle number 2? The length is 4 and the width is 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. Now, as we are using the distributive property, so we need to add the two areas together. 8 plus 12 equals 20. And now, page number 671. Use distributive property to find the area. Show your multiplication and addition equations. Okay, for number 2, we will divide this rectangle into two smaller rectangles. Then we will write the equations for each rectangle. Then we will add them. The first one have 4 times 4, and the other one have 4 times 3. So we will use the brackets. 4 times 4 equals 16, and 4 times 3 equals 12. Then we will add them. This is how we are using the distributive property. So what's the answer? 28 square units. And now for number 3, we are dividing it into two smaller rectangles. And the first one have 5, the length is 5, and the width is 5. So 5 times 5 equals 25. And what about the other one? 5 times 4 equals 20. Add them together, it will be 45. And now, page number 671 on your own. Use the distributive property to find the area. Show your multiplication and addition equation. For figure number 4, we will divide it into two smaller rectangles. Then, to find the area, we need to find the area of each rectangle. Then we will add it. So, using the distributive property, we will use brackets to represent the area of each rectangle in this way. Area of the first rectangle, 3 times 4, and plus the area of the second rectangle, 3 times 4. So 3 times 4 equals 12, and 12 plus 12 equals 24 square units. What about number 5? Now we have two rectangles. The first one has the length of 4 times 6 plus 4 times 4. So 4 times 6 equals 24, plus 4 times 4 equals 16. So 24 plus 16 equals 40. And now draw a line to break apart the figure into rectangles. Find the area of the figure. Okay, for number 6, I draw a vertical line to divide it into two rectangles. Rectangle number 1. Now the length of rectangle number 1 is 4 and the width is 3. Now 4 times 3 equals 12. Now what about rectangle number 2? The length is 2 and the width is 6. So 2 times 6 equals 12. Now to find the area of the figure, we will add the area of rectangle number 1 and rectangle number 2. So 12 plus 12 equals 24 square unit. And now look at figure number 7. Okay, to divide it into smaller rectangles, we need to divide into 3 rectangles. The first one in this way, the second one in this way. So the first rectangle has the length of 4 and width 3. So 4 times 3 equals 12. For rectangle number 2, we have 2 times 3 equals 6. And for rectangle number 3, we have 4 times 3 equals 12. Then to find the area of this figure, we need to add the areas of 3 rectangles. So 12 plus 6 plus 12, it's equal to 30 square units. This is our lesson for today. Thank you for listening and see you for the next lesson.